I recently started playing with Home Assistant on my Raspberry Pi for different home automations in my house. And if you're interested, let me know in the comments. I could make a video on how to get started with Home Assistant. But in this video, I want to talk about a particular problem that I was experiencing with Home Assistant on my phone to my server and how I've been able to resolve that. Let's create a very simple automation, which is that whenever I switch between Wi-Fi to cellular data, we turn on the light, and cellular data back to Wi-Fi, we turn off the light here. It's also a smart light which I have on my Home Assistant. I'm going to create new automation. We're going to add a trigger. I'm going to search for an entity. I'm going to go back here. I want to check connection type, which switches between Wi-Fi to cellular. We want to check an entity which is connection type for this iPhone exactly. When this goes from Wi-Fi at the custom state and it goes to cellular, then we trigger some actions, and the action we want to trigger here is to turn on this lamp, which is called, I think it's a bedroom lamp. So that is the bedroom lamp. Yeah, that is it. And we're going to turn on the lamp. Let's keep this 70 and save demo automation turn on lamp. Forgive my spelling. Then we're going to create another automation. We're going to duplicate this, but this one is going to be when it goes from cellular to Wi-Fi. In this case, we're going to turn off the lamp. Demo 2. Okay, so we have our simple automation now. So when I go from Wi-Fi to cellular data, this lamp is supposed to turn on if everything works well. I think I should also be able to show you that information here. So we just keep an eye on this part here. So when we go from Wi-Fi to data, yep, it sends it and we have the light on. And when I go from cellular back to Wi-Fi, this is updated and this goes off. Now, the problem is that when this app is no longer on the foreground, it is in the background running. But then when optimizations kick in by your phone to maybe not drain battery or drain other services, like I experienced multiple times, I would go from Wi-Fi to cellular and this will not update my Home Assistant server. Then when I open the Home Assistant app, then all of those things trigger and you see cellular or you see Wi-Fi. I shouldn't have to keep my app constantly running for the automations to kick in. And so I did some research, and what a couple of people pointed out was to create a shortcut if you're using iOS to update the sensors on the Home Assistant server when a particular thing happens. And that was what I did. So if we go to shortcuts, we create a new automation so you see what I'm talking about. So what is the trigger? The trigger is when my network or when my Wi-Fi joins a particular network. So when it is joined, I choose a network, then run immediately. Then we go to next. We can create a new shortcut here. Search for actions. We can look for Home Assistant. And when we click on Home Assistant, and here we can see, if you scroll down, update sensors, which is going to update the connection type sensor as well as other sensors that are activated for the app on the phone. So I click on update sensors and that is it. Then the other one, which is this one here, is basically when we are disconnected from this network, we update sensors again. So this way, even if the Home Assistant app is running in the background, it's been running there for a long time now, and due to optimization reasons, the application is sort of sleeping. It doesn't matter. When I go from Wi-Fi to mobile data, as you would see, it runs the shortcut, which would update the sensor, tell my Home Assistant server, then my Home Assistant server would turn on the light. And when I also go from cellular back to Wi-Fi, oh, what problem is this? Apparently we have an error and the error disappeared. But anyways, that runs and we have this now working. So obviously this is not a very seamless process, but it works. It works. So if you want to create automations around a specific sensor and your phone sleeping might affect how often that sensor is triggered, then this is one way to go about it. This is actually fun though. Go back to mobile data and go back to Wi-Fi. Okay, that didn't, oh, I thought it wasn't gonna work, but it worked. Yeah, that's fun.